What if building wealth didn't require constantly watching the stock market, tracking every penny, or making perfect financial decisions every day? What if the real secret to financial freedom was creating a system that quietly grows your money in the background while you live your life? Most people believe wealth is built through intense effort, complex investing strategies, or extraordinary financial intelligence, but the truth is often much simpler. The biggest obstacle to wealth is not a lack of opportunity, it is inconsistency. We save one month and forget the next. We invest when we feel motivated and stop when life becomes busy. We make good decisions during calm times and emotional decisions during stressful times. Imagine removing as many of those decisions as possible. Imagine your savings increasing automatically, your investments growing automatically, your bills being managed automatically, and your future becoming stronger every month without relying on daily willpower. This is not a fantasy, it is a system, and the people who become financially free are often not the ones who make the smartest decision once. They are the ones who make good decisions automatic. Stay with me until the very end, because once you understand how to put your money on autopilot, you may realize that building wealth can be far simpler, calmer, and more predictable than you were ever taught. Welcome to Money on Autopilot. Most financial plans fail for one reason. They depend too heavily on motivation. Motivation is powerful, but it is unreliable. Some days you feel disciplined. Other days you feel tired, stressed, distracted, or tempted. If your financial future depends on making the right choice every single day, eventually emotion will win. Successful people understand this and build systems that work even when motivation disappears. Think about brushing your teeth. You probably do not wake up each morning and debate whether you should do it. The habit has become automatic. Wealth building can work the same way. When saving and investing happen automatically, you no longer need to constantly decide whether to do them. The system makes the decision for you. The first step in Money on Autopilot is paying yourself first. Most people pay everyone else first. The landlord, the bank, the credit card company, the streaming services, the restaurants, and the shopping apps. If anything remains, they save a little. Financially free people reverse the order. The moment income arrives, a portion is automatically moved to savings and investments before it can be spent. This single change is incredibly powerful because it protects your future from your present impulses. If the money never sits in your spending account, you are far less likely to use it on things that do not truly matter. You are not relying on self-control at the shopping mall. You are relying on a system designed in advance. The second step is automating your investments. Many people wait for the perfect time to invest. They worry about market crashes, economic news, elections, interest rates, and countless other factors. Meanwhile, years pass. Automatic investing solves this problem by removing the need to predict the future. You invest a fixed amount on a regular schedule, whether markets are up, down, or sideways. When prices fall, your money buys more shares. When prices rise, your existing investments grow. Over long periods, consistency often matters far more than perfect timing. The goal is not to outsmart the market every month. The goal is to participate in growth for many years. Another important principle is automating your financial safety net. Emergency funds should not depend on leftover money at the end of the month. Set up an automatic transfer to a separate savings account. Even a small amount builds momentum. The first $1,000 may seem modest, but it creates something incredibly valuable. Breathing room. Financial stress decreases when you know unexpected expenses will not immediately become emergencies. One of the hidden benefits of automation is that it reduces decision fatigue. Every day, your brain makes hundreds of decisions. What to eat, where to go, what to buy, what to prioritize. The more decisions you must make, the more mental energy is consumed. By automating bills, savings, investments, and debt payments, you free mental space for work, relationships, health, creativity, and the parts of life that matter most. Automation also protects you from emotional investing. Human beings are naturally influenced by fear and greed. When markets crash, many people panic and sell. When markets surge, they become excited and buy at high prices. Automatic investing creates a calm, disciplined process that continues regardless of headlines. It turns investing from an emotional activity into a routine. But automation does not mean ignoring your finances completely. A plane may fly on autopilot, but the pilot still checks the instruments. Review your system regularly. Increase contributions when income rises. Eliminate unnecessary expenses. Make sure your investments still match your goals. The system should run automatically, but the direction should remain intentional. Another powerful idea is lifestyle automation. When income increases, automatically increase your savings rate before increasing your spending. If you receive a raise, direct part of it to investments immediately. This allows your wealth to grow faster without feeling like a sacrifice, because you never become accustomed to spending the entire increase. Many people think financial freedom requires earning a huge income. A high income can help, but it is not the foundation. The foundation is creating a gap between what you earn and what you spend, then putting that gap to work automatically. A person earning a moderate income with a strong automated system can build substantial wealth over time. A person earning a very high income with no system may remain financially stressed for decades. Perhaps the greatest gift of putting money on autopilot is peace of mind. You stop wondering whether you remembered to save this month. You stop relying on occasional financial motivation. You stop making the same decision over and over again. Your future is being funded quietly in the background while you focus on living your life. As we begin this journey through money on autopilot, remember one simple truth. Wealth is rarely built through dramatic financial moves. It is built through systems that make good decisions repeat themselves automatically. Every automatic transfer, every scheduled investment, every recurring contribution, and every intentional system is another vote for your future freedom. And if those systems continue running month after month, year after year, something remarkable happens. The hardest part of building wealth is no longer discipline. The system begins carrying much of the weight for you, and your money starts moving toward freedom even while you sleep. The next level of financial freedom begins when you realize that automation is not just about saving money. It is about designing a life where good financial decisions happen with less effort than bad ones. Most people try to build wealth by fighting temptation every day. They rely on self-control at the mall, discipline while online shopping, and motivation when it is time to invest. But self-control is like a battery. It gets drained. Systems, on the other hand, do not get tired. Imagine two people standing beside a river. One tries to carry water home with a bucket every single day. Some days they remember. Some days they forget. Some days they spill half the water on the way. The other person builds a pipe that continuously delivers water to their home. Which system is more reliable? Wealth is built more like the pipe than the bucket. The goal is not to make heroic financial decisions occasionally. The goal is to create a steady flow of money toward your future. One of the most powerful automated systems is the 3-account method. The first account is for spending, rent, groceries, transportation, and everyday life. The second is for short-term security, your emergency fund and upcoming expenses. The third is for long-term freedom, investments that you do not touch for many years. When income arrives, the money is automatically divided among these accounts. You are no longer asking, "How much should I save?" every month. The decision has already been made. This separation is important because money behaves differently depending on where it sits. If all your money stays in one account, every dollar feels available. Future goals must constantly compete with present desires. But when investment money is moved away automatically, it becomes psychologically easier to leave it alone. You stop seeing it as spending money and start seeing it as future freedom. Another principle of money on autopilot is automating debt reduction. Many people make extra payments only when they feel motivated. A better approach is to schedule automatic additional payments toward high-interest debt. Even small extra amounts can dramatically reduce the total interest paid over time. The system quietly accelerates your progress without requiring monthly willpower. There is also a hidden benefit to automation that has nothing to do with math. It reduces financial stress. Uncertainty is exhausting. Forgetting a bill, wondering whether you saved enough, or trying to remember multiple payment dates creates mental clutter. Automated systems create predictability. Predictability creates peace of mind. And peace of mind is one of the most valuable returns money can provide. As your income grows, your system should grow with it. This is where many people make a critical mistake. They automate their finances at one income level and never update the system. A raise arrives, and the extra money gradually disappears into lifestyle inflation. Instead, create an automatic rule. Every income increase triggers a savings increase. If your salary rises by 10%, perhaps 5% automatically goes to investments. You still enjoy some of the raise, but your future benefits as well. Another powerful automation is investing in yourself on a schedule. Set aside a fixed amount each month for books, courses, skills, health, or professional development. Knowledge compounds just like money. The person who invests consistently in learning often increases their earning power for decades. Automation ensures that personal growth remains a priority even when life becomes busy. One of the biggest misconceptions about automated investing is that it removes responsibility. It does not. It removes unnecessary decisions. You still choose your goals, your investment strategy, your risk level, and your savings rate. But once those decisions are made thoughtfully, the system handles the repetition. Think of it as programming your future behavior while you are calm, rational, and focused, rather than leaving important decisions to moments of stress or emotion. The beauty of automation becomes especially clear during difficult times. When markets fall, many people stop investing because fear takes over. Automatic investing continues. When life becomes busy, many people forget to save. Automatic saving continues. When motivation disappears, the system keeps moving. This is why automation is so powerful. It protects your future from your temporary emotions. Over time, something remarkable happens. The system begins creating momentum. Your emergency fund grows, your investments grow, your confidence grows. Financial decisions become easier because you are no longer starting from zero every month. Progress creates more progress. And eventually, you may notice a subtle but profound shift. You stop obsessing over every market movement. You stop checking your account every day. You stop wondering whether you are making enough progress this month. The system is working quietly in the background, and your attention is freed for the things that truly matter. Your health, your relationships, your work, your creativity, and your purpose. As we continue through Money on Autopilot, remember this: the richest people are not always the ones who think about money the most. Often they are the ones who have built systems so reliable that money requires less of their mental energy. They make a few important decisions well, automate them, and allow time to do the heavy lifting. Because in the end, financial freedom is not about constantly managing money. It is about creating a life where money is managed well enough that it stops managing you. The final stage of Money on Autopilot is not really about money anymore. It is about time, attention, and freedom. In the beginning, you automate your finances to save money. Later, you realize you are saving something far more valuable than dollars. You are saving mental energy. Every financial decision you no longer have to make is a little more space for creativity, relationships, health, learning, and peace of mind. Think about how much of life is spent worrying about money. Can I afford this? Did I pay that bill? Am I saving enough? What happens if an emergency occurs? These questions create a constant background noise in the mind. When your financial system becomes reliable, that noise begins to fade. You may still think about money, but you no longer think about it with the same anxiety. The goal is not to become obsessed with wealth. The goal is to become free enough that money stops dominating your thoughts. One of the most important shifts happens when your investments begin producing noticeable growth. At first, all the progress comes from your own contributions. You put in the money, and the account barely moves. This is the stage where many people become discouraged. But then, gradually, the growth starts accelerating. One year, the investment gains are small. A few years later, they become meaningful. Eventually, there may come a year when your investments earn more than you contributed. That is the moment many people truly understand the power of compounding. Your money is no longer sitting still. It has become a worker, and that worker is now generating additional workers. Imagine planting a forest. The first year you see tiny saplings. The second year they are still small. For a long time, the progress seems almost invisible. But after enough years, the forest begins growing faster on its own. Wealth behaves the same way. The early years require patience and faith. The later years reward that patience with momentum. Another powerful idea is creating automatic generosity. Most people plan to give when they have enough. The problem is that enough keeps moving further away. Consider setting up a small automatic contribution to a cause, community, or person you care about. It does not need to be large. The purpose is not only to help others. It is to remind yourself that money is a tool, not an identity. Wealth becomes healthier when it flows through your life, not when it becomes the center of your life. As your financial system matures, you may also discover the importance of protecting your future from your future self. This sounds strange, but it is incredibly important. The person you are today may be disciplined and focused. The person you are 5 years from now may face stress, temptation, overconfidence, or unexpected circumstances. Good systems protect you from both fear and greed. They prevent panic during market crashes and recklessness during market booms. They create guardrails that keep you moving in the right direction, even when emotions try to pull you away. One of the greatest mistakes people make after building some wealth is increasing complexity. They open too many accounts, chase too many investments, follow too many opinions, and constantly change strategies. Complexity creates confusion, and confusion often leads to poor decisions. Simplicity is a hidden advantage. A simple, consistent, low-cost, long-term system is often more effective than a complicated strategy that is abandoned after a few difficult months. There is also a deeper lesson hidden inside financial automation. Your habits are programming your future. Every automatic transfer is a message that says, "My future matters." Every scheduled investment says, "I believe tomorrow is worth preparing for." Every intentional system says, "I choose direction over impulse." Over time, these repeated actions do more than build wealth. They build trust in yourself. You begin seeing yourself as someone who follows through, someone who plans, someone who thinks long-term. That identity becomes incredibly powerful. And then comes a moment that is difficult to describe, but easy to recognize. You realize that financial freedom is not a specific number in an account. It is a feeling of increasing control over your life. It is the ability to handle setbacks without panic. It is the freedom to say no to opportunities that conflict with your values. It is the confidence that comes from knowing your future is being built intentionally rather than left to chance. Some people will look at a financially free person and see only the money. They will not see the years of automatic investing, the delayed purchases, the systems quietly running in the background, the habits repeated when no one was watching, and the patience maintained when progress seemed slow. But that is where the real story lives. As we conclude this journey through money on autopilot, remember the most important idea of all. Wealth is not created by constantly thinking about money. It is created by designing systems that allow good financial decisions to happen repeatedly with minimal effort. Automation is not about becoming passive. It is about becoming intentional once, so you do not have to rely on perfect discipline forever. Set the direction carefully. Build the system thoughtfully. Review it periodically. Then allow time to do what time does best. Multiply consistent action. Because in the end, the real magic of money on autopilot is not that your bank account grows while you sleep. It is that your freedom grows while you live.